Welcome to the Goalie Hacks Podcast, the show dedicated to providing elite tips, hacks, and strategies to take your game to the next level, where we help you become an elite goaltender, one hack at a time. And now, here's your host, Mike Santaguida.
Bang, bang, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Man, do we have a few beauty episodes coming up in the next 2 weeks, but this week, I couldn't be happier to have one of my brothers from over in Quebec on the podcast, Olivier Gervais, who runs one of the largest goaltending schools in Eastern Canada, Paramount Hockey. His school has quickly become one of the premier goaltending clinics in the country, and I absolutely love Ollie's mission, what he stands for, and what he preaches to his athletes. And in this episode, we dive in his time playing and what he would have done differently if he could go back, his coaching philosophy, and what it takes to get to the next level. You guys are going to absolutely love this one. Shout out to my newest patron this week, Mason Meyer, hailing from Lakeville, Minnesota. And Mason and I have been working together for some time now. He's been around since the beginning, and I couldn't be happier to welcome him to my inner circle. And shout out to Jude Rondina, who in just a short week upped his pledge from $5 to $50. You know, he's looking for recruiting help to find a team this fall, and I'm really looking forward to welcoming him to the Hacker Tier, where I work with guys one-on-one in their development and recruiting efforts to help them get to the next level and find an opportunity to move their career forward. So if this is something that interests you, for just a few bucks, you can get access to our upcoming monthly Zoom mentorship Q&A sessions where I give lessons and then open it up to the Inner Circle members to ask me questions where we all interact and grow together. And you also get other things like a new feature is early podcast episode releases, access. So you guys want early access to new episodes even weeks in advance, or shout outs on the podcast, live IG, Instagram Q&A features, and the list keeps getting longer and longer. I just keep adding more to the list. So for more details, either hit me up directly or head to patreon.com/goaliehacks, also included in the show notes and description for more details. And another reminder, guys, to send in your questions to be featured on our inaugural podcast Q&A episode. And right now we have a few submissions, and as soon as I get a few more, I'm going to put the episode together, answer your questions on the podcast, and feature your recordings on the show for everyone to hear. So if you want to be featured, head to speakpipe.com/goaliehacks to record and submit your question. I'll take your recording, plug it right into the podcast episode, and we'll do our Q&A session. And this is just a big opportunity for us to connect. I hope you guys like this. And it's a big opportunity for me to feature you guys, my community members, on the show. And I couldn't be happier to start an initiative like this. So make sure to submit your questions ASAP for an opportunity to get on the show. Shout out to NeuroTracker and our main sponsor in the show. And as I've said in previous weeks, we're so close to opening up the new NTX platform to the public. And I just want it to be known that I've seen the new Sense Arena that just came out, and I think it's a beautiful product. However, I was looking at the pricing, and man, is it expensive. It's over $1,000 USD just for the system. And then over $60 a month, $70 a month just to keep the product active and to use it, which totals up to $2,000 a year USD. And man, that is just absolutely insane to me, to be honest. And when it comes to my career, I've always been careful about overspending so I can get the right ROI that I need, return on investment. And with the NTX, there are no setup costs at all. You can take it anywhere you want. It is arguably more science to back up the product than the Sense Arena, and is less than half the monthly price of Sense Arena. So to me, I have zero FOMO right now, knowing that I'm saving just a significant amount of money and getting similar results. And I'll give you guys a bit of a sneak peek as well that I haven't really mentioned yet. And the NTX, the NeuroTracker company, has been working on the VR version of their new product for over 3 years now. And that's the reason they're launching the new NeuroTracker X product, is because it's actually VR compatible. So NeuroTracker is keeping with the times. They are still the most scientifically proven tool to enhance performance, and I cannot wait for their VR product to go live soon. I actually had an opportunity to check it out, and it's next level, just like the Sense Arena. So all you'll need to do is buy a VR headset and the program will automatically be compatible with the hardware when it goes live. So all of this for less than a quarter, like literally less than a quarter. So it's like an eighth of what you would have spent on the Sense Arena. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to just throw money away that otherwise would have been spent in other areas. The NTX VR version is close to being released, and you can bet at less than a quarter of the cost, Sense Arena is going to have a run for their money. So if you can't afford the Sense Arena or are just looking for a cheaper alternative to get the same results, the NeuroTracker X system is definitely for you. So stay tuned for more details in the coming weeks. But without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. I know you guys are going to love the chat Olivier and I had today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Goalie Hacks podcast. I'm excited today to be joined by one of the biggest goaltending names in Canada, Olivier Gervais, who is the founder, owner, and head instructor at the famous goalie school, Paramount Hockey. Gervais' mission is to help his athletes at the physical, technical, and emotional levels, putting an emphasis on honesty and motivation as an integral part of his training philosophy. He prides himself on teaching how to manage emotions and dealing with success and defeats with his students, and I'm excited to dive deeper into his philosophy and his work today. Mr. Gervais, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, I'm great, man. Thanks a lot for inviting me. It's really a pleasure. I'm a big fan of all your work, all you're doing for the next generation of the goalies. That's great, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I know it's my pleasure, and it's nice to meet you finally in person.
Yeah.
Um, and I appreciate you supporting my work, man. I just also want to say thank you for participating in that Instagram post I did a while back. If you remember early on, it was surrounding around crease management. So
Yeah.
cheers, buddy. It meant a lot to me early on.
Absolutely, man. That was very a cool project.
Yeah, I know. Zach Fucali works with you guys at Paramount, and he's become a good friend of the show.
Yeah.
How long have you guys known each other for? I'm just curious.
Man, it's been wait, let's say maybe 10 years. 10
Oh
years now
wow,
that we know each other. We start training together at the gym in Rosemere, where you come from. Me, I'm from Laval.
right.
It was a very nice gym, great trainer. All the guys were like junior major, pro guys. So and we're in the same group because both as goalie. So that's how we start know each other. And since then, he started working with us with Paramount Hockey, and now we have the new business Living Sisu together. So now I would
Right.
say he's a pretty close friend.
Yeah. Right on, man. Maybe you can give us some details on maybe some of the other, big name goaltenders that have been training at your facilities over the years to sort of give our listeners a bit of a backdrop into just the caliber of goalies you deal with.
I would say like big names. We don't have guys in the pros right now. It's
Yeah.
mostly guy who played junior. Some guys in the states, some guys in Canada, junior age. Some guys went to the junior major. We have guys everywhere. The thing is with Paramount Hockey, the main goal and what I told all my coaches, we're not there to say, hey, we coach that guy, we coach that guy.
Right.
So we have some names, like especially in the junior major in Quebec guys, man, I coached when they were really, really young, and since then. But I would say, man, I don't like to give out names. So here with Paramount Hockey, it's all about, hey, just come here. I don't care if you play junior major, you play bantam. It's all the same. They're goalies, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's same thing with Zach. Zach came a couple of time with us, and he's been coaching for maybe 2 years now. But when you come on the ice, you put the jersey, man. We just do some reps, we just do some shots, and that's it, man. We're all goalie, just having fun, trying to get better every day.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can jump right into it then and sort of lead off that a bit. Maybe you can just start off by introducing yourself, Paramount goaltending
Yeah,
and how you got started with coaching and where we are now.
yeah, absolutely. So I started coaching when I was 15 years old. I was just coaching for fun, man, just to learn the game. I was playing, and I was like, hey, I want to know what the players see, what's their vision of the goalie. So I started going to some goalie school. Just ask, hey, do you need a guy to just help out, place the pucks, maybe do some passes, some shots. So that's how I started when I was about 15, and since then it was my only job. I coached for many great goalie school in the area of Laval, Montreal,
Mm,
and then around, I'll say 20, when I was 22, 23, it was time. It was time to start my own goalie school. So I found Paramount Hockey, and since then we're about now 250 goalies coming everywhere every
Wow.
year. We have guys from all over the place. We have some guys coming on from the states, from east of Canada, from west. We did camp in the states as well. So no, man, it's been a great journey, and now it's all about working on small details and having fun with the goalies.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you sort of had that idea of you really wanted to think about, what did goaltending look like from a player's perspective.
Yeah,
And I love that because I share that same thing where it's like you have to sort of be able to see yourself from that bird's eye view. But how important do you think that is to consider that when being a goaltender?
it's the thing is, if you just understand one part of the game, your training is not, for me, your training is not completed. It's, yes, you understand all the fundamentals of the goalie, but what the players see, what the player lives, what the when the player's coming in front of you, what's his option, what can he
Right.
do. So for me it was huge, and especially at 15, me, since I'm young, I'm a guy, want to learn every day. I can learn I'm better than no one. For me, in my head, everybody can be better than me, and I can learn from everyone.
Right.
So when I was 15, I was like, okay, to learn why the players score against me, it was huge. And I was playing always the I caliber I can play. But around like 16, 17, that's when I get to my first junior major camp. And
Yeah.
to coach, for me, it was huge. Like during that summer before my first camp, yes, I trained, but we with my dad, we the mentality was not all about goalie training in our family. So I didn't have the
Hmm.
chance to go like every week, to go train with a good goalie coach, or something like that. So I almost coached all the summer. So before I went to my first junior major camp, I almost only coach, run outside, train a bit as a goalie, go to like some drop in hockey, but that's it. At the end of the summer, I did some training with Marco Marciano, that is now with the Naval Rocket as a
Hmm.
goalie coach. But to be honest with you, to be a player, to shoot in front of the goalie, to see the hole, to see the speed, the reaction, that was huge for me, and that made a big difference in my career.
Hmm. Well, maybe we can dive right in your coaching philosophy, and maybe you can just probably break down, the two or three biggest things that you stress and put emphasis on with your goaltenders, either physically or mentally.